Welcome to Open BxRx Tuesday on BronxNet. I'm your host, Kibin Alleyne, and I'd like to invite you to get social with us at BronxNet TV on Instagram and Twitter, and BronxNet Community Television on Facebook. The St. Barnabas Hospital Health and Wellness Center launches a new program called the Teaching Kitchen. Serving residents of the Bronx, the program offers cooking classes that provide access to quality local foods while highlighting how to cook traditional meals in healthier ways. The director of St. Barnabas Hospital Health System Center for Culinary Medicine and Teaching Kitchen, Abbie Gellman, joins me to discuss the program. Abbie, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Now, can you talk a little bit about the SBH Teaching Kitchen?
Sure. So we are a whole kitchen right in the Wellness Center on 3rd Avenue across from the main hospital. So it is a gigantic, beautiful kitchen space where we have a whole host of, it's essentially a professional kitchen, but used for teaching purposes. So we have community classes, we have classes for the residents and the physicians, we have programs and series for different patients and community members. It's kind of a wonderful place to be.
Now, when I heard teaching kitchen, of course, I just figured it would be like normal classes that we normally take. But I think it's really, really cool that there's actually, an actual kitchen designated and designed to help people. Can you talk a little bit about, the importance of making it a very hands-on experience?
Sure. So with cooking, you have to actually do it, right? So you practice makes improvement. Nobody's perfect. But when you do teach, when you do go to our teaching kitchen, you can actually cook, right? So it's a little bit more of a learning situation. You cook together, you learn from myself. I'm a registered dietitian and a chef, and I have two wonderful culinary educators and instructors who work with me, and you get to work with your friends, your family, other people from the neighborhood, and just really getting your hands dirty and getting to cook and then eat what you cook is so much better than kind of just watching it on TV, right?
Now, what was the inspiration behind actually creating this program?
The program, well, the Teaching Kitchen opened a couple of years ago, right before COVID, and the whole purpose was to serve the community. So we know that food and nutrition are a huge part of health and wellness. And if you cook, generally speaking, it's healthier than a restaurant or maybe a packaged processed food. So we're trying to kind of get back to basics here and really help empower people and motivate them to take their own health and wellness into their own hands, essentially.
Now, I know that here on this show and just in general, a lot of conversations about food, we're always talking about access to healthy foods. But, I think that understanding nutrition can be just as important and knowing what to actually do with the food. So, can you further explain the benefits of understanding how to cook nutritious meals?
Sure. So our bodies are like cars, right? So we need to fuel them properly, just like you want to put the right fuel in your car. So if for someone like me, I want to have fruits and vegetables, lean protein, whole grains, and that I guess it's not just for me, it's kind of for all of us, right? We want to make sure that we hit all of our macronutrients every day. So that's protein, carbohydrates, and fat. So we want to really make sure that we're using all the food groups and nourishing our bodies properly.
Now, the Bronx is filled with many cultures known for rich cuisine, which I think is really, really exciting. But this is also something that scares a lot of people when they kind of switch to eating healthier. They're afraid that they have to lose some of that culture. Will the classes take that into account when thinking about new recipes?
Sure. So every cuisine is healthy, right? It could be Caribbean, it could be Dominican, it could be North African, it could be Israeli, it could be Italian. All of us in wherever we're from, wherever our people are from, there are healthy foods, right? We're not all only eating deep fried, white processed things. So we do focus on the community, which is 75% Hispanic. We have a Caribbean cuisine class. We have a soul food cooking class. Everything that we have in our recipes is a reflection of who is attending our classes and who are our patients at the hospital. So For example, sancocho is a traditional soup, and we took out a lot of the meat and we replaced it with more plants like mushrooms and a bunch of kind of bulked it up with other things, but all of the same spices and seasonings and a lot of the same ingredients are still there. We just kind of pulled back on a little bit of one thing and bulked it up with a little bit of another thing.
I think that's really cool. And I think it gives people some hope because I know that a lot of people are afraid to even make that step because they feel like it's just not accessible to them. Can you just explain, with the dish that you just mentioned, what was the response like from the community when they realized that this is something that they can actually do?
Oh, people love it. And we have certain people who come to every community class, and then we can't add new ones fast enough. They just want to keep coming. And then we've had other private events and events with, residents and people at the hospital, and we always do that too. And whether they've had it before or not, everyone loves it, and it's gone, and people start doing that recipe at home, and we get a lot of great feedback about that one specifically.
Now, oftentimes when people try to lead healthier lifestyles, it can be temporary. Do these type of classes offer something that could help make this change a little bit more longer lasting?
Absolutely. So cooking is a skill. So once you have that skill, nobody can take it away from you. So it doesn't matter if you had never cooked before or you have cooked a little bit, you're going to learn the basics. You're going to learn how to make new dishes, how to make veggies taste good, how to roast a chicken, how to make fish, how to add more plants in a way that you like. So you can take those skills and use them for the rest of your life and just build and build on them. Whereas we're not changing your diet. We're not telling you you're not allowed to eat something anymore. We're focusing more on the positive of how to add more fruits and vegetables, how to add more whole grains and beans and legumes in a way that you enjoy and that is easy for you to do at home.
How can a well prepared, healthy meal enhance the quality of life?
Oh, that's a big question. So, kind of back to where we're a car, right? So, um, our brain works on fuel, our body works on fuel, and the fuel is food. So, if you're eating a well rounded plate that has fruit and vegetables and grains and nuts and beans and all of these wonderful things, then you will feel better and your body will respond well, and you'll be able to work better, to move better, to think better, all of the things. You'll feel better. Whereas if you're eating a lot of, let's say, processed foods or deep fried foods or things that don't offer any nourishment, your body will kind of rebel against that a little bit, and you might feel sluggish or tired or gain weight and all of those things.
Now, why is this kitchen so important for a borough like the Bronx?
Well, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of reasons. There's limited access to food. There are food deserts in the Bronx, and that is a challenge, right? And we also have a lot of low income families who are on SNAP and WIC and all of those types of things. So if we can offer them a place to come that they can learn how to use the foods they have access to and actually learn about how to cook properly or use, for example, the foods they get from WIC or things that they can purchase on SNAP, how to use those and make them themselves and their families nourished in an easy, approachable way. I think it helps everybody.
Now, who is eligible to join this class, and what can participants expect when they go to the teaching kitchen?
So anyone can come, even if you don't live in the Bronx. Everyone is welcome. It's $5 for a community class, and that $5 gets you about an hour and a half of cooking, and you'll get about a week's worth of food. So you'll cook with other people, and then everyone has different recipes. So at the end of that hour and a half, there could be 12 different recipes that have been made, and you all get to enjoy that meal together and take the leftovers with you. So you might be at a station doing some sort of brown rice and peas, or that sancocho, for example, and a couple people at the station next to you might be doing something completely different. So you'll get to look and see and try different things and work together with people in the community.
Now, I quickly just want to add that, we're approaching the holiday season where, everyone, we love to eat all of these amazing foods. Why is it important to kind of get into the habit now before we get to, Thanksgiving and Christmas?
So, I will give a little plug. We're doing some holiday classes. So we're doing a Thanksgiving dinner class, and the next day we're doing a leftover class. So kind of what to do with your Thanksgiving leftovers. We're also doing a healthy side and dessert class. So it's more about when we come into something like the holidays, it's more about strategy and thinking through. So if you know you're going to a party, for example, or you know you're going to a big dinner, you don't have to eat everything at once, right? It's great to try everything and have some of everything, but there will be leftovers you can eat tomorrow. Or maybe you can, you don't need to eat two pieces of pie. You can eat one piece of pie. It's all about moderation and kind of going into it knowing that this isn't the last time you're going to see the food. You'll have other opportunities, right? And take it in stride and kind of listen to your body.
Now, can you just let everybody know how they can learn more about the Teaching Kitchen?
Sure. If you go to sbhteachingkitchen.org, and there you can find our monthly schedule of classes, and you can also register for classes online.
All right, Abby, thank you so much for joining me.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back with more Open BxRx Tuesday.